You guys really enjoyed the gigantic working crafting table, so this time we have a giant working furnace. This thing is so cool and just packed with redstone. Woo! How's it going, guys, and welcome back to another redstone map showcase here in Minecraft Pocket Edition. Today we are going to be taking a look at another gigantic working redstone block. Now this is obviously going to be a furnace, and it's actually working where you can input your fuel, the items you want to cook or smelt, and then we get an output at the front of the furnace. It also has a working fire in the front and an exposed back so we can see all of the redstone. Alright, so this is definitely really cool, so let's see if we can take 1 second to crush that like button if you guys want to see another gigantic working block, maybe an enchantment table next. I think that'll be a really good one, but either way, let's take a look at this giant furnace. Okay, so let's just quickly fly around to see how this thing looks. As you guys can see, it is just built so well, it looks amazing, and then like I said, at the back side we have it exposed with glass, that way we can see all the redstone on the inside. Now before we actually get to the contraption and how it works, I'm gonna break in here and take a look at the redstone and try to figure out what is going on here, and that really is going to allow us and allow you to build more things such as this. Now inside we have like an input on this side that's basically just going to count the items at the top section where the chests are located in these hoppers, and then it's going to take that signal down and kind of ignite the bottom using our redstone lamps. So that's basically how the lamps will turn on, and then once those turn on, we also have another hopper system over here which basically separates the fuel as well as the items you want to cook or smelt and inputs it into our furnace at the appropriate position. So as you guys can see, we have the input for the items on the right hand side and then the input for the fuel on the left hand side, and they basically all go towards that furnace, and then once they are cooked they get dispensed into that chest at the bottom, and then once that chest fills up, it's like a mini storage area. It sends it into these hoppers over here, which then sends it into the front chest, and when that front chest is filled, it will go ahead and pull out these pistons and allow us to retrieve those items. So that's basically how it works. Let's go ahead and take a look at this thing in action. Now at the top of the furnace we have the inputs for the items that we want to cook as well as the fuel. Now the items we want to cook is located at the front and the fuel is located at the back, indicated by the signs, as well as we have some other signs here at the back to show you who created this map. This one is not created by me, that's why I really wanted to show off the redstone and really see how this thing functions. Now on the sides of the top sections of our furnace we do have a few different decorations, which I think is really cool because it gives it a lot of character. Instead of it just being a bunch of holes that you could put your items into, it's like a really nice space that you could just come over here and drop your items into and then get the output. Now let's go ahead and test this thing out. The first thing I'm going to do is basically enter my fuel into these hoppers. Since I'm on creative mode, I'm just going to click on it and manually enter that fuel. I just added in a couple pieces there, about 20 or so. It's going to go into the hopper system, and since there's a bunch of hoppers down there, I can store a lot of the input, so we can store like stacks upon stacks upon stacks of that. And what I'm going to do for the input of our fuel, or the input to the items we want to cook or smelt, is add in some of our raw pork chops, and these are basically going to get cooked, and once they get cooked they will be dispensed into the output section of our furnace. So if you guys notice, once it starts cooking the items, these lights will light up at the front of it, making it look like a working furnace. There you go. And it will also open up this section of the structure. In this section, like I mentioned, once an item is dispensed into that chest, it's going to pull back the pistons and allow us to retrieve it. So now if I go ahead and click on that chest, as you guys can see, we have 2 pork chops, and then when I get rid of that, it will close up the entire system, but it just reopened because there's another pork chop in there. But as you guys can see, when I take that pork chop, it basically pushes back our pistons out and closes that retrieval space, and whenever we get an item in that chest, like I mentioned, we'll reopen that. So that's really cool. We already got ourselves a couple pork chops. It's definitely definitely working like a charm. But what I'm going to do is also enter some of our iron ingots as well as some of our gold ore, or not iron ingots, but iron ore and gold ore, and then we will get the dispense of those ingots. Now, while we're waiting for the gold and the iron, I would really love to know if you guys want to see a whole collection of maps just like this one. Maybe we could have like an entire like map that is dedicated to the giant blocks. We could have our giant working crafting table, our giant furnace, enchantment table, maybe a brewing stand as well, and sort of have that all on one map that you guys could download in the future and sort of make it into like a custom world instead of it just being a flat land. I think that'll be really interesting. Or maybe try to create a giant house and place those giant items inside of it. I think that'll be really, really awesome. So tell me if you guys want to see something like that. I think that idea is really cool. But let's go back towards our chest here and check it out. As you guys can see, we have our 6 iron ingots, our 1 gold, and our remaining pork chops. So we got 16 pork chops out of that, and yeah, it works really well. And you can not only use our coal for our fuel input, but you could use any other fuel that is available in Minecraft. So you can use any amount of the woods as well as the slabs and stairs, as long as they are made out of wood, of course. So we can enter our oak wood into there, and it basically gets sucked in and used as fuel. Now, it's a really cool map, guys, and I really hope you guys enjoyed it. It's kind of short, and like I said, it's like a novelty item. I said that in the original crafting table video. If you guys missed that, go check it out. But it's mainly a novelty item. You could obviously just grab a furnace and place it down, and you wouldn't have to worry too much about this entire system and how it works. But I think it's really cool to see something like this created in Minecraft, especially in Pocket Edition, where everything is small. We just have this ironically large, giant working block. One thing I'm really curious about doing is blowing this thing up, so let's go ahead and grab ourselves some TNT and just place it all along the top here, and then we can activate it and see the damage that it does, and hopefully see the guts of this thing spill out in a glorious way. Okay, so we're just gonna place down a bunch of blocks over here. This is what I really love about MCPE, is that you can place down blocks from so far away from your actual position. There you go. We're going to place on all of these, and then we're going to grab ourselves a redstone block, place that down there, and then it's going to basically destroy the entire top section of this. Oh my gosh, would you guys look at that? We didn't even need a lot of TNT to completely destroy almost every single thing on this giant block. And yeah, there's only the redstone at the bottom left, and I really didn't expect it to destroy so much of it. But either way, that is going to be our gigantic furnace. I hope you guys did enjoy this video. If you did, please take 1 second to crush that like button. I would really appreciate it. And tell me which giant working block you would like to see next. And don't forget to subscribe to my channel to see when those videos get posted. Either way, this was Twiistz, and I'll see you guys next time.